Rings. You can join us. All right, welcome. This is Shadow Band Central. If you want to visit a Shadow Band channel, you have come to the right place. So, all right. So I do another remote viewing. I might channel somebody. We'll see. I don't really have any in particular. I'm going to channel. So we gotta change up a little bit every once in a while. There's nowhere to go. I go somewhere. Sometimes I go somewhere. Not so much anymore. Maybe I change it back around, or maybe not. Yeah, the cats were just losing their minds about 5 minutes ago. I guess they got that out of their system. Now they're sleeping. So, yeah, they wore each other out. They were tearing this whole place apart. So that was like just a little bit before I went live. So, all right. So it's a remote viewing. Remote view the reptilians. I was going to remote view space, but what are you going to get from that? So we'll just go in reptilian alley and see what they're doing. World view. So that's like world events. Like I feel like there's an activity somewhere worldwide and see what's okay. So I feel Geneva, Switzerland right now. Doesn't mean that there's gonna be an event there, but they're doing something there. No surprise there. That came out of nowhere. So what a surprise. While they're drinking their lattes, the world burns. Yeah, it's like a Illuminati command center. It's one of them at least. So, and speaking of Illuminati, I feel like going to Illuminati locations. I guess that's kind of the same thing. I wasn't expecting to go to Geneva like that, but so locations where the elites are obviously there's obvious places. Yeah, we'll just leave it open for that. I mean, some of these might be obvious areas, but see, at least kind of like feeling out the activity that's going on and going with that. So, like the worldview, Geneva, Switzerland, yeah, no surprise there. I mean, they have like an iron curtain around them at this time. It's not exactly cheap to get there. Nothing's cheap there. Yeah. I think a latte is like $7 or something like that. Something around those lines. I don't know. So definitely building the hive mind of our reality. I think the WHO, the World Health Organization's there. I think so. No surprise there. What a surprise. Yeah. I'm not gonna go into that. Jeez. It's like a comedy right now. So as I'm talking about comedy price sessions, the schedule here, the shop here. Let's see here, recently added. I don't think it's here. Added a couple of things, but of course I didn't make it easy to find. I just added them, so not that hard. So message from the tall whites. Hybrid children, if you have any hybrid children, also a message from the hybrid children. I'm going to go one or the other. So just a little bit different there. Let's see here. So the shop here. Oh, shop, I'm at. Good question. The 13th, I think. Something like that. 15th. Yeah. Something like that. Same situation here. Oh, webinar behind social network behind the scenes. So the reptilians, I guess I can channel the reptilians too while I'm at it. I don't really connect to them very often. So we'll see how far this goes. It's been kind of a long day, so let's see what we get. So reptilian beings, I've done this in the past where I connected to their ships. So let's see here. So I put a picture of Saturn in the thumbnail for obvious reasons. Let's see here. Reptilian beings. Let's see. Most of them are around Washington at this time. Oh, what a surprise. I mean, obviously, there are good reptilian beings. Something like that. I mean, it's just, they're not doing themselves any favors. Let's put it that way. Well, if they just show themselves here, I mean, literally show themselves. Just why not? Like the movie V, just start just tearing their faces off, stuff like that. Give us something to, give something to do here. Be a breath of some people being shocked, other people say about time. Especially if Nancy Pelosi does it. Of course, that would be some kind of creature from some kind of Planet X. Yeah, that's Nancy Pelosi from Planet X. I can see that. Sorry. Ow, that hurt. I think I hit the money load on that one. That means I'm right. I don't know. At least that's what I feel like I am. Anyway, so reptilian beings, around. Interesting, they're around museums. Of course, they're around everybody. It's like we have the reptilian Gestapo making sure that we're being good humans here. Of course, nobody believes them because they don't see them, but obviously they're roaming around with nothing better to do. Jeez, they're around everybody. I mean, it doesn't mean they're like right behind you or something like that, freak people out, but they are monitoring our condition because it's just we can't see them, at least for now. I can't imagine this lasting forever. But yeah, Washington D.C. is where most of them are at this time. They do have a treaty. Obviously, other people can get different points of view of all this, but they have a treaty of where they can't show themselves. I believe they had, obviously, during the Middle Ages and other times when they're eating people. Can you imagine that? Like, you're out, wearing Robin Hood getup, and then you see like a reptilian being eating a bird. Jeez. I can actually visualize that. I mean, back in the past, they showed themselves. Every now and then, they would pop in. You see that in modern mythology. It just showed, they just didn't care. But we didn't have the internet. We didn't have all this stuff now, so it's a different story. So, like dragons, I believe dragons were being seen. I mean, why have all this mythology? It was in everybody's head. I don't think so. I mean, there's some of that was in people's visions, but a lot of them were just here. So you're walking around minding your own business. It's the Middle Ages, and you see some kind of reptilian being just wandering around. It's like, who are you going to tell? In Africa, they have that. Even New Zealand, I'm not sure where that would be. I don't think it's that clear what they are, though, in New Zealand. But Africa, it's pretty. Certain places of Africa, they're being seen. Let's see. Reason for Washington. Okay, so I guess I gotta look at the right reptilian beings. Like which ones. But the suppressors, mostly are on Washington. Reptilian beings are doing a lot of manipulation in Africa. Now, this has been before this whole African thing shut down. Yeah, they have a lot of ships in Africa. Also, they have a lot of ships that shoot down ships. Especially Palladian ships. Jeez. Oh boy. And they also have a lot of presence around the Mediterranean Sea, the reptilian beings. I guess, it is kind of a busy area over there. Making sure we're doing what we do best. Now, some of the reptilians have technologies that connect to the churches, the cathedrals. and they even program the cathedrals with it, which I have not seen before. Yeah, like a device to program humanity to put out signals, because cathedrals are just, they have those, the I don't forget what they're called. Anyway, it was like it's connecting to space. Yeah, they have something that taps into it and send out signals to us, to whoever. Even when people are inside the cathedral, it feels like it shifts the vibration. It's almost like the cathedral is alive, which technically everything is. And it's not all bad there. I mean, there's some people that can see past all that, but others that can't, and you have to a little back and forth stuff going on there. Just lovely. Vatican is their hub. One of them, at least. I'm not going to tell you what the other ones are. But yeah, there's sacrifices around the Vatican, at least underneath somewhere. I'm not sure where exactly. It feels like it's underground. I don't know if it's fourth dimension or what dimension. Jeez. I mean, I do feel that I'm programming the Pope mentally and telling him where to go and stuff like that. So, yeah, it feels like they possess him a little bit, or a lot. We'll just say a little bit here, which takes you to the Queen. If that even is the Queen, whoever that is. They do mind control. They did a lot of control on Philip, who is not deceased. Prince Philip. I think it was a prince, right? When her husband had died. They did a lot of programming on him, and it showed. It's like, yeah, and I don't know if she's, so many people looking at that differently. But yeah, the Queen, I'm kind of careful what I say about her because, I get backlash and everything. I already got enough to deal with as it is. I don't think that's her either, actually. Whatever that is. It controls the people around her, of course, obviously. There are shapeshifters around her, too. And people say they've seen her shapeshift, which I wouldn't doubt. But the Queen has a lot of similar energies similar to Adele. I think Adele is British. I think so. Yeah, they're kind of like part of the same bloodline in some form or another, somehow. To add to that, even the singer Sting, he's a reptilian being too. Yeah, not all reptilians are bad. Some of this music isn't so bad. Yeah. I mean, the Doors. I forgot to mention this. The Doors. The lead singer, Jim Morrison, is known as the Lizard King. What does that tell you? Just let that sit for a little bit. The Lizard King, a musician called the Lizard King. Yeah. So, yeah. Hidden in plain sight. Yeah, there's a lot of snake beings, obviously around Egypt, that are still there. Even some of the pharaohs are still alive, as ghost beings, fourth dimension, whatever it might be. Ramses the first, Ramses the second. Set, of course, is still there. Of course, that's a god. It's a god of the underworld. I can't keep track of all these guys, but yeah. So even in Egypt plays a big role in the future. Like the pyramids is kind of like a time traveling device too. Now, how does that work exactly? And all of this is not very clear, but it has time traveling energies connected to it. So, George W. Bush is a reptilian from Boys. We're all. Let's sit down for that one. Yeah, we're all surprised about that. The Queen. I don't know what the hell the Queen is. I mean, obviously she's a reptilian energy, but there's something else there. Yeah, the Queen has other. It is an unknown creature. We don't have a catalog of weird, bizarre things. It's probably something out of the X-Files. I'm not sure if there's anything to be proud of. I'm not saying just to be funny. But, yeah, it's just something from the X-Files. They could probably make an episode of the X-Files about the Queen. We're not going to go there. I better get away from that one. Um, yeah, so I'm obviously being blocked as I'm talking about this. Was it the missile site in the United States? Obviously, it's around Reptilians. It's a big mothership around the missile site. It's huge motherships. Obviously, you can't see them, but they're not outside the Earth. They're in Earth's atmosphere and all that. Um, yeah, the Los Alamos missile? I forget the missile. White Sands missile site. Yeah, I think it's Nevada. I can't remember where it is, but yeah. Anyway, the desert in the United States are major motherships in those missile areas. Major league. Just you can't see them, but they're pretty huge from the energy I feel from that. Of course, Mount Shasta, yeah, is known to have reptilian energies. Yeah, but I believe there's a lot of Palladian energies there too, which I know is supposed to do nothing but reptilian beings, but Mount Shasta has a lot of Palladian. I know they say that there's a lot of reptilians. Yeah, there might be some of that, rituals and stuff like that, but that's not the main thing. I mean, you attract all kinds of people, so anyway. All right, so switch gears a little bit to worldview. I keep feeling in Switzerland, they're running the show. So you wonder who they is. UN, kind of. It feels like Switzerland, underground, CERN. Yeah, this is nothing new. Yeah, whoever's running CERN is running the show. And it's obvious there's other people involved, but CERN feels like a major place at this point. And I believe they use CERN to cause weather problems. They're trying to obviously open up portals. Some of the elites are trying to get off the planet. Obviously, it's not working. I don't think so. I'm not sure what CERN. I haven't seen it. I think that thing's. I feel like it had problems with it and people died. At least that's the energy I'm getting from it. At least that's how I'm feeling. So CERN is on YouTube somewhere. I can't find it now, but because it wasn't a subject matter I was thinking about going into, but like in front of it, there's like they had like this like esoteric, ritual, in front of the building. It's online somewhere. It's very bizarre. I think it had witches and over there kind of thing. It's very bizarre. Where is anybody that surprised? Yeah, just like Nancy Pelosi coming from Planet X. Yeah, head of the Cockroach Collective or whatever that is. Anyway, yeah, Switzerland, CERN. Like I said, it's no surprise there. North Africa. I don't know where North. Let me look at this. North Africa. That did not help. North Africa. That's why. Let's see here. Libya, Nigeria, Egypt, Sudan, Morocco. I guess that's North Africa. Yeah. Oh, obviously, because South Africa. Yeah. I'm learning my geography. Yeah, it's North Africa. They're doing some kind of military. Maybe it's the British doing it. Yeah, North Africa is being really screwed with right now. I know they talked about South Africa being messed with. It feels like North Africa. Some of the elites, they go to places like that to plan their agenda. Of course, they do in South Africa too, but it feels like North Africa, they do quite a bit. I feel Morocco. I'm not sure if they have any meetings or anything like that there. Obviously, they're not going to make it public, but it feels like a place like Morocco feels like it's out in the open, but also still pretty civilized overall. At least they're like a small little elitist meeting. Obviously, they can have them anywhere. But North Africa seems to be a place where a lot of the world agenda is made, which makes sense. Bill Gates seems to have a a jet that just takes him over. It's an I believe. I mean, I feel like he's in Africa a lot. I guess he just likes the weather there. Maybe he's gonna meet someone and get married. Maybe he already has. But anyway, yeah, he can be the pages of National Geographic. Yeah, they do a lot of the agendas there somewhere. Just maybe some of the remote cities also they go to, like you're not gonna find CNN there. Yeah, some of the remote cities, not Sudan, but somewhere that's really off. Yeah, just Chad, maybe. Algeria, no, if I'm pronouncing that right. Tanzania, no. Chad seems to be. Nigeria, no. Chad, I keep getting. Let's see, Africa, Chad. I don't think I ever went into Chad about anything. Jeez. Maybe because it's poor there. Without going into details on that one. Yeah, something to do with Chad. Man, maybe that's where I'm not gonna go into any health stuff going on, but yeah. Of course, the AIDS virus came from Africa, so they're doing. Chad is from what looks like poor, really, really poor. I don't know. I don't think. Anyway, Chad is extremely dangerous due to risk of terrorism, kidnapping, unrest, and violence. Sounds like a great place for agendas. Yeah. So, no surprise there. So does that mean like events are going to happen there? No, but it feels like that's a place of. It'd be nice to be able to prove some of this stuff. I'm feeling, North Africa, Chad. Of course, that's not really North Africa, but it's close enough. Yeah, lovely. Yeah. Well, of course, this whole thing, this whole variant thing is going on right now. So, yeah, it might play a part in that. So, like the mutations and things like that. Yeah. Yeah, Chad, they're doing. I don't know if Bill Gates has been in Chad and all. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, obviously, there's other places, but Chad is not good. So, anyway. So Illuminati locations. Obviously, Geneva, Switzerland, but Zurich. Zurich. Of course, Geneva felt for where things are going. Of course, you have CERN. I forget where CERN is, but yeah, Zurich is, of course, one of the another Switzerland town. Yeah, another main hub, definitely. Parts of Germany are used to manipulate reality. Brussels, yeah, but Germany still seems like it still has a major influence here. Meetings, whatever it is. Germany's energy is just not good overall. I mean, people there, they got, it's not perfect there, but it's the agendas are definitely being done there too. Yeah, Geneva. So Zurich, Geneva, Switzerland, and Germany play a big role in, obviously behind the scenes and everything. Parts of Beijing, China. Major. I think there's like more of the millionaires, like the most millionaires and stuff like that's in China, something like that. At least one of the places. Yeah, Beijing plays a big role too. Somewhere, I'm not sure what the population of Beijing is, but it still plays a big role. New Zealand has a lot of elitists, but the elitists there are very low key, very just your millionaires that are just average millionaires, yeah, and hiding Epstein stuff. Apparently, they know Epstein from somewhere. I don't know if he's being hidden there, but his energies are there. Go there, knock on all the doors. You might be able to find him somewhere. He might be underground. If he's alive at all, he might be under. Feels like he possibly might be underground. Another place for Epstein would be like Bermuda or these remote islands. I mean, who's going to be going there? Yeah, so almost like hidden in plain sight. If he's still alive, I think he's still alive, but it's hard to say. I wouldn't doubt it. Let's see here. Where are we going with all this? So, is Antarctica, of course, plays a big role. Also, Greenland. Greenland has a military base there. I talked about it yesterday, but that doesn't mean they're still not doing something there. There's some kind of elitist. It's a military, shadow military. Greenland still plays, behind. It might not be rich people doing this system, but Greenland definitely has some kind of influence behind the scenes. It's maybe only a couple people, but either way, it's still playing a role in where things are going for us in some form. Interesting. Chile. I picked up I'm working on other stuff, and Chile came up. Chile is really expensive. If I'm connecting to that right. And it can have like a real rich class and a very poor class. But when do you ever hear about Chile? Some of the main agendas are definitely done there. Of course, Chile or South America has a lot of connections to World War II, the Nazis, and all that. If I had to do where the Nazis are, is obviously currently Pfizer. No surprise there. Pfizer's one. There's obviously military, but Pfizer seems to be the major one right now. Obviously, I have Johnson & Johnson, but the Nazi stuff is in Pfizer. Like because the founder of Pfizer is German, so I felt some Nazi ties with him before a Nazi party was even created. So, if you're worried about Nazism and all that, it's in Pfizer somewhere. Yeah, and how things are planning going out the way it is. Let's see here. Let's see the elitists and their locations. And another one's Russia. Maybe it was Russia that had the most millionaires. I forget. Yeah, Russia. That's one thing I picked up about Russia. Say what you want about it. That has a lot of remote areas. I mean, there's a lot of places to hide. You can have a secret meeting there. Who the hell is going to know in the middle of nowhere? I mean, you don't hear about Area 51, but, there's places in Russia, it's like you're just not going to hit the news ever. So I would say remote areas in Russia. And if I looked up on the map, I probably couldn't. Ukraine. Of course, Ukraine isn't remote, but still parts of Ukraine where the elitists are planning our not demise, but it's just little locations where they're setting things up. They don't get along with each other. There's always a new elitist energy. It's like when one fails, another one comes in. At least that's the vibe I'm getting. Obviously, they're not going to make themselves that well known. And of course, there's a lot of them in Italy because they want to keep the religion going. So they're always funding religion. Any religion for that matter, but definitely the Catholic Church. You want to keep that sucker going. So they get a lot of real high-end donations. No surprise there. So, okay. We'll see. I'll do a little quick connection with the Reptilians. Let's see where we go with that. So, geez, I'm really seeing Reptilian Vatican energies. Jeez. And some of them are snake looking. Yeah. Okay. All right. We do a reptilian connection, a positive connection to the best of our ability. It's for information. So look at it from a neutral perspective. All right. Blessings. Greetings to you. We are the Anunnaki reptilian race. Many of us do feel that we are part of the human collective in your development, your birth. So a lot of alien beings feel like they're fathers of your planet, at least of your species. And yes, many, like any other parent, would make mistakes. Much of us reptilian being, now we're not going to go into details of our species, but your species, yes, breaks a lot of rules. It has a rebellious energy, for other against other planets also, because it wants to do its own thing. Your planet wants to do its own thing. So yes, when other worlds are going to higher dimensions, this world gets stubborn and say we're going to stay in the third dimension or the second dimension, if you want to go there. So yeah, it just has a rebellious nature. When it feels like coming out of the third dimension, it will. Many of you are helping with the ascension, of course, but it doesn't mean you're out of the woods just yet. Some might feel like the war is over, yes, but it seems like there's some effort there to keep it the way it is, meaning that there's no war. Well, for some, the war might be over, but as long as your governments have a place on your planet making rules to keep you locked down, but in a different way than you have been in the past, the recent past, to do a suppression of information and not letting news presenters say whatever is on their mind. How about just, they do, but they still control it. Why don't you just no holds barred, let them show out who they are. Let the scumbags show themselves, let the good people show themselves, and that would be a major debate. They're just holding back due to monetary reasons. Well, because they have families and things like that, they were taught to live the good life, and so now they're easy to manipulate. So yeah, many obviously news presenters have sold themselves out. Obviously, many are clones from other realities, of course. Remote views that one. Of course, the Vatican doesn't want to have a comment, but the Vatican is kind of making out with the planet because it feels like his mission accomplished, at least for now. The Vatican is also known to screw things up, meaning that karma will find a way. So that's why they overstate their boundaries. They're careful also, but they do still mess up. And if you want to know about the rest of the world and how things work, it can be discovered. So